You're listening to the Hope Revealed Podcast Network with your host, Matt Crump. The Hope Revealed Podcast Network is home to shows like Hope Revealed, God's Got This Stories, Fight School with co-host and Emmy Award-winning director Bill Nolan. On Clubhouse, the new international room called Let's Get Naked and Cancer FU, Fighters United, or his LinkedIn show called Matt Chat Live. Every episode of every show is designed to give you inspiration, motivation, hope, and the tools you need to navigate life successfully at home, business, or career. So now, your host, coach, consultant, and purveyor of hope, Matt Crump.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I got this sign the other day. You ever felt that way before? Me too. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Matt Chat Live. I am Matt Crump, and I'm super glad to be here today. I'm glad to be anywhere today, so I'm grateful for that too. But today is May the 12th, 2021, and it feels like this year has been a whole year already. I don't know about you, but there's a lot going on. Quite busy, fantastic things happening in the world. Today, I have a guest who is an incredible man in the UK who is got some great information to share with you and a pretty cool deal at the end. He's going to give something to you for free. That's right, F-R-E, for free. So that's pretty cool when somebody does something like that, right? So I'm glad you'll have a chance to meet Dennis in a moment. Don't forget that coming up just a little while from now at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, and for my friends in Australia, 9 o'clock Thursday morning. Yep, in the future. So we're going to be doing Let's Get Naked. We're going to take it all off. We're going to shed the veneers and get rid of doubt, fear, lack, imposter syndrome, all those places where people can get so stuck, controlled, frustrated burned out by. And we have a chance to discuss some incredible things. The past few weeks on Let's Get Naked have just been absolutely outstanding. And we've had some incredible conversations. One started maybe about 3 weeks ago now. There's a gal named Andrew. She has an art studio, art gallery. And she brought up the fact about the artistry in us. And we were talking about why are you here and how to manage things in your life. We'd been really talking about time management. So we kind of shifted into an area of individual artistry. What's that look like for somebody who does what you do? Even if you're an HR person, what is the artistic ability of you as an HR person, right? So there's all kinds of things we talk about on Let's Get Naked. Again, that is 7 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night on Clubhouse. So if you don't have access to Clubhouse, you'd like to get there, contact me immediately. Maybe say something in the chat here. Say I want on Clubhouse, and I can give you access. I have some free Clubhouse, what's it called? Well, not Clubhouse, but you can get on Clubhouse, right? I'll give you access to Clubhouse, right? So I've got 6 of those available today if you'd like to be there. Good news for Android users. They're doing a beta test right now with Android. So there are some Android folks on Clubhouse now. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. There's already millions and millions and millions of people that are on there that are on iPhones. When they add Android, holy smokes, right? There's some fantastic rooms. So anyway, that's tonight, again, 7 o'clock. So thanks again for being here today on an episode of Matt Chat Live. I'm super excited for one of our new sponsors here on the show, MF Consulting. We'll tell you about MF Consulting at Chris Webb. Hang on, I'll be right back. I tell you what, when it comes to Chris at MF Consulting, you are going to get it like it is, right? He holds nothing back, and it's pretty phenomenal what he's able to do and how he's able to help people in businesses, with consulting work, with people that are needing to learn how to scale some things in their business or career. and he doesn't hold back, like I said. So he's a phenomenal guy. Not to mention, he offers an academy with many areas and topics to go on there and find out about and watch videos and get some education. So you can go to his website and find out all about that for MF Consulting. His website's mfconsultingpc.com, but you can find him on LinkedIn. He's connected to me. You can also find his business page on LinkedIn. So make sure you check out MF Consulting and tell Chris that Matt sent you, and tell him it's time to get naked. All right. He'll know what you're talking about. All right. So up next, I've got a new guest here today for us, and his name's Dennis. He is he's flown in all the way from the UK. He's with me in the studio here. Not really. He's still in the UK, but he's going to join us here in a minute. But just a second, Dennis is. Hey, Dennis, Chat Live. How are you today?
I'm great, Matt. It's great to be on your show. Can't wait for our conversation.
Yeah, I know, man. It's been fantastic. We've been working on getting this day squared away, and here we are. I'm glad we finally made this happen. Feels like we've been talking for a year to make today work, and I'm glad we did. So we were both having some joys before the show started, talking about our internet connections and how similar they are. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It seems like they always aren't that great. So I don't know who your internet is, but hopefully you got good internet today. So far, so good. We're talking pretty decent, and our signal looks clear. So, Dennis, I'm so glad you're here. That's it, right? Fingers, toes, whatever we can. I mean, so now that you're here, why don't you just take a few moments to tell people who you are, where you're from, and then what you do.
Hi, my name's Dennis Morrison, and I help small businesses, business owners, course creators, coaches, and service providers use the power of storytelling to attract their ideal audience so they choose to buy from them. I'm based in London, but as we know now, it doesn't matter where you're based. It's about you can communicate to anyone around the world. So that's why it's so exciting to be here with your audience. I'm actually in your living room or in your office, wherever you're listening right now.
That's right. I'm so glad you are too. And man, I am so passionate about story. That's why I've been excited for us to connect. And we share a lot of those same passions. And I do have several friends in actually London. One of my really close friends actually lives there in London. I'm very, very happy to be connected there as well. His name's Adrian. But hi, Adrian. So tell us a little bit about storytelling. Why is storytelling so important to you? And how did you get involved with trying to do storytelling as a livelihood?
Oh, that's a great question. How long have you got? You got 5 hours? No, I'm joking. So I started basically when I was 18, I got a job as an extra on a commercial. And I thought, hey, this is a nice gig. And then suddenly I saw these big trucks appear with all this equipment come out. And I was like, what is that? Now, I want to put a caveat. This is before we had all the iPhones, all of the stuff. As far as I knew, is TV appeared when you push the buttons and when you watch the screen. And I suddenly decided this is what I want to do. So that started my whole journey of firstly looking for my first job, involved pounding the pavement in Soho 3 days a week until I got my first gig, started at the bottom, worked my way up. Then I went to study film, the last generation to learn how to edit on a Steenbeck, if anyone knows what a Steenbeck is, had production companies. And what I realized is when you study something, you become really good at that. But no one teaches you how to get business or how to get clients or how to present yourself. And I think many people who have various skills, that's the shortfall, I'd say. Many courses, they're not really teaching you how can you apply it for people who may want what you have to offer. So I had the journey like many creative people of the peaks and troughs. And that involved some of my peaks working for some of the top brands like Diesel, L'Oreal, Red Bull, some top music artists like the Marleys, like Common, like Public Enemy. And then I was like, you know what? I see everyone talking about storytelling. but no one's giving people the tools on how they can do it themselves. And I wasn't thinking, oh, let me create a business around this. I just kept hearing it. I mean, I'm only telling you part of my story. I created a platform for short filmmakers to sell their films pre-iPhone. So I've been around in the online space and doing things online for quite a while. And I was actually in the process of creating a program. And I was looking and I was realizing, you know what? I'm really good at some things, but there's some things I'm not that good at. Why am I trying to do it? Why am I trying to offer some training on how to do ads when I don't even know how to do ads? And then I looked at what I'd done and I thought, wow, everything's underpinned around storytelling. I need to just focus on what I know, knowing that I can offer that to people and create something where people have the skills, the tools, and the training where they can do it themselves. Because I say that modern day marketing is about storytelling, and it's a skill that can be learnt. That's the most important thing. Whether you feel you can or you can't, you can if you choose to.
So true, so true. And what's really interesting there is, back when you were thinking about ads and different things of that nature that you could do, but you couldn't probably do well or great. It's that whole Jim Collins good to great thought process,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And you were willing to, even though you probably didn't really want to, but you secretly did. So you laid those things down to really zero in on the other thing. But when you did that, things probably changed for the better for you, didn't they?
Yeah, drastic change. I think by having clarity and finding your sweet spot and knowing that you're able to enable others to enable themselves. I think that's one of the things. I mean, the other part of me, I actually teach the next generation of filmmakers how to tell stories. So I'm kind of a professional tutor that goes in. I got some grays, but I look young, luckily. But yeah, so I actually teach the next generation on how to tell stories. And I've kind of taken all my experience over the years and what I still do now, because I really enjoy that part of me, to enable business owners to be able to use it to build and grow their business. Because if we got a business, we want to get more clients, we want to get more customers, we want to make more money, and there's more competition out there. What better way to make the competition irrelevant by being your authentic self, quirks and all, and using the power of storytelling to attract your ideal audience. That's the key. It's an attractor. And you want your ideal audience. You don't want any old person. You want the person who you want to work with and they choose you. And I like to say, although I say sell with story, really it's like what you're really doing is enabling your ideal audience to choose to buy from you.
So good. So one thing you said, again, you're saying some great stuff. One thing that I heard really quick, I'm like, I want to talk about that. You said that you are helping to enable and teach today's younger generation about storytelling. So in that statement, what is it about today's generation that they don't know about or think about telling?
I like to say for people that storytelling's a language that we all know, we just don't know the details. And I kind of enable people to open their eyes and see the nuances. So just a couple of weeks ago, I had 44 students doing their first 16mm short film and teaching them that, you know what, add 12 frames here, it changes the meaning. Let's make that a bit shorter. Let's change the sentence from stop doing that to stop doing that. And they start to realize that these subtle little changes make the impact. And this same thing can be applied in business in terms of how you communicate, whether that's through video, through audio, written form, your landing pages. It's understanding the art and craft of words and the construction of what you're communicating. Throwing in elements of copywriting that makes people, or rather people, makes your ideal audience get engaged and engrossed in what you're talking about. And they think, oh my God, you're speaking to me. That sounds just like me.
That sounds fantastic, Dennis. But copywriting, writing all these things down, trying to get all the so people can understand, that sounds like an impossible task. I mean, how am I supposed to do something like that if I don't even know how to even say hello properly?
Well, if you don't know how to say hello properly, I think you've got a few more problems than that. However,
that's true. Bad analogy.
Yeah,
You get my point.
Yeah. However, I think the words we say determines whether our business will succeed or not. And words are spoken words, written words, listened to words. It's a skill that can be learned. And I am a strong believer of using frameworks. Now, the advantage of frameworks is they give you a structure. The power of frameworks is each time you use it, you come up with something different. So yes, if you're starting from scratch, you're right, it's a lot of work, you don't know where to start. However, if you've got a guide, you've got the right frameworks, and you are serious about taking action and implementing it in your business, you will see massive changes. I like to say this is a skill for life. It's not a fad. It's not this the next shiny object. This is a way of communicating and engaging people. And believe it or not, we all tell stories all the time. We just don't label them as stories. Now, when you become intentional, because I like to call business storytelling as purposeful storytelling, you're telling stories on purpose, stories that ultimately lead to a sale. So by having the right structure, then using the right words, sprinkling in lots and lots of your uniqueness, because again, you only want to attract the people who resonate with you.
Right.
No one can do what you do. The competition is irrelevant.
I used to have a lot of folks when I had a brick and mortar. One of them was a big music store I owned. So I sold a lot of musical instruments and we did lessons and band and orchestra rentals, all that kind of stuff, right? And there's a couple of other stores in the town. Another one was just they were about the same size as me, but they've been around a lot longer. And people would say, well, what do you think about XYZ company around? I said, they're just trying to do what I do with different stuff. So, all I was concerned about for me was how can I do what I do best? And yes, there's going to be competition. Yes, there's going to be people that seem like they offer exactly the same things as you, but there is something going to be a little bit different. And that difference is you, right?
Exactly.
So, they could buy a drumstick anywhere. What does a drumstick have to do with Matt Crump and my personality, all this kind of stuff? Well, if they like me, if they trust me, if they have fun in the event, then that probably going to be the stick they buy from me, So it just depends how you tell those stories and invite people into the conversation, right? So you've been able to do that, and now do that for. You just said you had 44 people in a class not too long ago, right? So that's amazing to think that that's possible. Folks would say, "Well, how's that possible? Even make a living?" Well, I guess you're doing okay. You can pay for expensive internet and talk to me from the UK right now. That's really good stuff. Now, you do have something that you're going to make available for folks today that is a really cool offer. I'm going to get to that in just a moment if we can. Before we do that, it's really cool to have another sponsor on the show today. And that sponsor is a really cool dude. He's a friend of mine from Australia. And talking about stories, it's Encapsulator, encapsulator.io. It is a video time vault. It's places where you can tell stories, where you can share experiences, where you can do timeline situations. It goes into a video vault. It gets sealed until a certain date or time when you can come back to it. For example, Danny used to be a drug addict, and now he's clean and sober, and he works at the very place where he went through his treatments at. And now they have an opportunity to show before and after. So he watched a video he did of himself and came back 3 years later and saw it. He could see all the massive changes in his life. They've got different companies that are using it for team training, for management trainings, for psychological purposes, for personal preferences and fun. Like I've done something with my son before on Encapsulator. It's pretty cool. But anyway, here's a little bit about Encapsulator. We'll come right back and talk to Dennis and share with you some stuff he's got for you today to download for free. right, so that's Encapsulator. Just go to his website, encapsulator.io, and you'll be able to find out all about that. You can also get an opportunity to have a download for free. Funny enough, there's my friend Adrian trying to call me on WhatsApp while we're recording home later. So I've got another UK friend right there. So anyway, encapsulator.io, Danny Shannon, great guy. You can meet him on LinkedIn as well. Dennis, what's really cool is that you're offering some folks some things today. First of all, before we do that, you do have a website, which is called Audience Magnet. That's pretty cool, audiencemagnet.com. Tell us a little bit about that website, what people see when they go there.
Well, they're going to see me at the top, but really it's like, if you want to be more confident, be able to use storytelling to attract your ideal audience and make more sales, then that's the place to go. The aim is that you become the audience magnet. That's all about you becoming the audience magnet, not me. And when you become the audience magnet, attracting your ideal audience, they will pull themselves towards you because you are the attractor.
Yeah, so good. I know you also have something that you've offered today to folks. I'm up here and share it with folks here. You can go to this website. Let me change that link over so you can see it. And that'll be here in the comments as well. You'll be able to click on that link. But the audiencemagnet.com/Matt Chat. What? Matt Chat up an audience magnet. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. So here's a chance for you to go to this page. And what are they going to get when they go there, Dennis?
So you're going to get a little document that's going to highlight the 4 types of storytelling with 60 different ways to engage your ideal audience. So it doesn't matter what your preferred medium is. You're going to see different ways that you can communicate and connect and engage your ideal audience. And hopefully you're going to get excited to try other mediums as well. Now, for anyone who chooses to take advantage of this free offer and this free gift, you'll get the opportunity to do our 5-day mini course. It's called Sell with Story, and you're going to get that absolutely for free. And just doing these 5 days and committing 20-25 minutes a day, you will determine your next 12 months.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So not only to get this guide, 4 types of storytelling, 60 ways to engage the audience, and then access to this 5 days where it's going to be really some transformational stuff in the lives of people that have been wanting to figure out how to do it. They want to, don't think they can, or whatever, fill in the blanks. Here is the chance to finally just take action, knock it out, right? Exactly.
You'll be able to firstly define your story and then actually start working out, what do your customers really want and why should they get it from you? You know, ask some real interesting questions, which I encourage everyone to do, because it gives you clarity first and foremost. And all it takes is get the free gift, and within a couple of days, I'm going to give you the opportunity to grab that for free.
Wow, that's so awesome. Thank you for that, Dennis. And, you know, it's funny, too, having owned businesses myself. Of course, I still do, but I'm talking about physical retail, brick and mortar type places. A lot of folks think that they know their stuff. They know what they have and what they have to offer, until you start doing something like what you offer to them, and they look at these things, start having to figure out stuff and write things down. Sometimes that does reveal some of the things that you don't know, right? It's unconscious incompetence. There's some things we just don't know that we don't know until somebody has an opportunity to show us with how we can pull some of those things out. And when we do, it's intoxicating. It's like nonstop. You get so excited because you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that I could do this, or that I could say that. I didn't even think about this, think about that. And it really can pop, and it can really change a lot of things, don't you think?
Definitely. I think as well, when you start doing it, you're going to have the same enthusiasm that Matt does. And that's what it's about. When you have enthusiasm about what you do and why you help people, you want to shout out loud and tell the world, look, come to me, because maybe I can be your guide to get to where you want to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to be some superstar, megastar person and think they're the only ones, because they're the only one that's them. And you're the only one that's you, right? Exactly. So having you really can tap into that, it makes all the difference. It makes all the difference in the world. So, wow, pretty cool. So, Dennis, what else is it that we could you can tell us? How about this? What's your favorite movie?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to add something, but I'm going to choose something in a different way. I was always being the guy who never had best friends because I liked each person for who they were. So I've always been that person from school. I've never had a best friend. I like people for different reasons. Movies are harder, but I can tell you, I love episodic drama. And in my top 3 or top 2 would be Ray Donovan and Vikings.
Vikings. Oh man. And they got 2 different
amazing.
combinations, Ray Donovan and the Vikings.
Yes.
Crazy,
yes.
right? I like
that.
Vikings
Shows how
too.
crazy I am. I'm from left
Everywhere,
to right,
right?
front and center. Exactly.
Oh, I don't know about you, but if I watch a show like Vikings, man, when I'm in the episodes, I'm there. I mean, I'm in the moment. I'm feeling like I'm a Viking. I'm in the room with them, in the room of the dark places, the dirty places, the crazy wars. Oh, right. It's
exactly.
Like, yeah.
Ragnar. Valhalla.
It's amazing. There's so many great. There's a good story. They have great writers on that show, by the way. But yeah, it's so fun to be able to watch those. So you like episodic dramas, which are your favorite thing to do and to watch, huh? And that's big story stuff. It makes it makes total sense to me why you would like it. I mean, there's a lot of big story there, right?
Lots of big story, but also it actually ties into how you need to look at communicating with your ideal audience. It's not a feature film when you do this big thing and it's done. It's consistent. Episode after episode. They may not be 40 minutes or 60 minutes, but each time you make a communication, that's another installment of the stories that you're telling. And I think the other thing I'd like to get across is some people talk about tell your story. You need to tell your story. I'm quite contrarian on this. That's just one story. But you know what? You're only telling your story to find out more about you because no one cares about you. They care about themselves. So your stories need to be talking about your ideal audience. Yes, you're the conduit, but it's not about you. So I tell people that you are telling different stories depending on where your customer is or prospect on their journey with you. So it's not like, let me tell a story and repeat it. No, let me use the art of storytelling to communicate and grow and build that relationship, because storytelling is really about creating an emotional connection. And this is what stories do. And when you apply that in your business and how you communicate, that's how you literally will build your own tribe who do want what you offer.
Yeah, no, so that's so good. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to meet someone that you've seen on TV or a movie or anything like that. If you see some kind of a celebrity and you watch them all the time, what's funny about that moment is when you walk up to see that person, you're feeling like, hey, I'm going to go talk to, hey, Dennis, I know you. I know you so good. I know everything about you. Right? You feel like you're so connected to this person. Meanwhile, you're like, hi, Matt. Sure. I appreciate that. I don't know you at all, but what's cool is that we're able to create. What's important to then remember is, what are you creating for somebody to be connected to when they're thinking about that? Is it really you? If we're not really being who we are, if we're trying to be moved by the market or being moved by competition or being moved by having to be better than, then when somebody does come up to the table and say, oh, Dennis, I finally get to meet you, they're not meeting you at all. We've got to be real to ourselves, right?
That's true. And this is the advantage of online communication now. I would hope and expect that if you met me in real life, you'll say, this is the same guy that's speaking to Matt. This is the beauty of it. You can be yourself. You're not acting a part. You are being yourself, not playing you. You're being yourself. And the beauty of being yourself, if you're allowed to change, you're allowed to have different opinions about things. We grow, we develop, we have different points of view. And your ideal audience, they buy into that because they're changing too. Someone who may not be ready right now may be ready in the future. Someone who came to you at the beginning, they're growing and developing as you are. So you can still offer something of value to them. I want to throw out a challenge to everyone listening right now. Is that all right, Matt, if I throw
Oh,
out a
please
challenge to
do. I was
everyone
getting ready to ask you to do something like that. So perfect timing.
So my challenge to you is ask yourself, am I being myself when I communicate online, when I present myself around my business? And if not, why? And then my last question was, what would I need to change in order to be more of myself and less like the persona I've been told that I should have?
So
That's
say
my
those
challenge.
again. Number one was what?
Can't remember the details. That's one of my things. So number one is ask yourself, are you turning up as you and being yourself when you present yourself in your business?
And number two?
What do you need to change in order to be more like you?
Yeah. So good. So good. We can stop there because we could go into a whole nother episode talking about that one. That's for sure. A lot of people are afraid, and that's a whole nother story. But there's no reason to be afraid to be you. Just be you, right?
Listen, before we go, I've been there too. I've been afraid. I've had the issue of people see me in public. I'm like this, but when I came online, I just froze. I was just like, oh, I've got to be perfect online, and it took me a while to get over this myself. It's like I've been on my own journey of how can I be how I am when I'm with people, with you when we are on camera. And so there's a journey there. Don't expect to get there immediately. Don't be looking at people who are online and think, oh, I can't be like them, because I was you once. And that wasn't as long ago as you might think. However, I feel the more I do it, the more I'm being more and more of who I am. That's why now I honestly feel if you met me in life, you'll think, hey, that's the same guy that I saw on camera. And that's what I'm asking you to work your way towards.
Yeah. No, so good. Thank you so much, Dennis. AudienceMagnet.com. That's where you can get connected with Dennis. And don't forget, when you go there, you can also add /MattChat. And you've got a free gift that you've offered to folks today, which is so nice of you. And it's an opportunity for them to get 4 types of storytelling, 60 ways to engage your ideal audience. And even from there, there's more. Even past that, you have an opportunity to engage in 5 days worth of transformational information in a workshop that will really, really benefit somebody to learn how to tell that story. So that's a great blessing, a gift. I hope folks will actually click on that and take advantage of it, especially if you're a person who's thinking like, I don't know how to do what they do. I don't know anything about a camera. I don't know how to use my phone. I don't know how to talk on the whatever. Just get it and go, right? There's only one way to start, and that's to start and just do it, right? And I guarantee over time it gets much, much easier. So Dennis, thank you so much for today and for giving us the opportunity to look inside of what this looks like to be able to tell the story, why we need to tell the story, and a bit of how, right? And you're going to actually equip people to do that. You're going to handhold them through a process. And if they want more than that as they get started, they can just jump onto to your website and connect with you. It doesn't matter where they're at in the world. That's the beauty of what we have available to us today, these fancy little computer gadgets we have. And you can engage with him there at AudienceMagnet.com. Dennis, again, thank you so much for being here on Matt Chat Live. We really do appreciate you. And hopefully we can come back another time and talk about, I don't know, some crazy episode of the Vikings and what character you'll come dressed up as when you come to the show next. We'll have to do something crazy.
I can do any of that. Matt, I want to thank you for having me on your show. It's been a real blast. I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I feel honored to have the opportunity to be put in front of your audience. I hope they found it of value, and take action. Get that free gift. If you're serious, nothing happens unless you implement. So my word of the day is take action.
Take action. That's what I'm talking about. I've said that too. And folks, that's the big thing. Take action. Do something with what you have, because you have a lot, and probably more than you even think you do. So is to do it. So thanks again for coming to another episode of Matt Chat Live. Don't forget, in just a little while coming up is Let's Get Naked on Clubhouse, where we kind of have these conversations, and we go a lot longer. We go a couple hours usually in Clubhouse to really dig into those places of doubt and fear, lack, imposter syndrome, how you tell stories, right? We talk about all those things too. So I'm sure you'll have a blast by joining us there at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, and that's 9 a.m. in Australia. And for my friends in the UK, it's midnight. I know it's horrible. It's bad for you, but I do have some friends. Actually, our co-host Adrian, who's a co-moderator, he's there every Wednesday, and he's usually there from 12 till 3 in the morning. Crazy, I know, but it's that. I promise you, you'll love it. You'll love it. So thanks again for coming, Dennis. I'm so glad you were here today. Thank you so much again for being a part of Matt Chat Live.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode here on the Hope Revealed Podcast Network. If you'd like to find out more information about this episode, or learning more about Matt's coaching or consulting services, resources, or booking information he has available, please visit mattcrump.tv. And thank you again for tuning in. And remember, in any dark place or any uncertain moment, right around the corner, there can always be a hope revealed.